Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I'm here tonight live on Monday night. I apologize once again. My technology was kind of acting up here, and I was not able to log on. I had to restart everything and get everything fired up, even though I thought I did that. So welcome if you were just joining me. I am going over This Week in Astrology on Monday. It's July 17th, 2023, all the way until July 23, 2023. We are here this night in astrology. We start and do different things, so I'm not sure. There we are. Wendy, yay. You first one to comment. I'm never sure if these are starting properly or not. Welcome. This Week in Astrology, I have a lot to go over tonight. This Week in Astrology, it's going to be kind of a busy, crazy sort of night. And so if you're just joining, welcome. Go ahead and post your astrological sign below, where you're tuning in from, what area of the world. You don't have to put your city, but if you want to put your state or even your country, that's amazing. And I love hearing your astrological sign, who's tuning in. So we have Wendy, yay. We have Emily, yay. We have Rosalie, yay. Capricorn in Vermont. Melinda, another Capricorn in Vermont. Do you guys know each other? I just feel like Melinda and Rosalie, maybe you would know each other, but I don't know, maybe you don't. But welcome everybody who is joining me. Boy, we had a busy week last week, crazy busy week. Wendy, Aquarius, yay. Sarah, Leo in Vermont, welcome. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And, I was talking last week, literally during the broadcast, I was talking, and we were getting in Vermont a monsoon beyond crazy rainstorm that, really caused a lot of damage here in Vermont. And, it's no surprise. Vermont, a lot of people don't know this, but states, like even the United States, has its birthday, 4th of July, right? 1776. Well, even states, when they were signed into Vermont, to the United States, they have their own birth charts. So people are always surprised to know, it's like, oh, this my state that I live in has signs. Yes, it does. And so Pisces is Vermont. In fact, Vermont is a double Pisces sun and Pisces moon. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the god of the ocean, right? And we are surrounded by this gigantic lake called Lake Champlain, and it's a lot of water. But if you remember a long time ago, back in March, I was talking about how Saturn just moved into Pisces. And so Saturn is in Pisces, and Saturn just went retrograde recently in Pisces. So what is happening is the state of Vermont is getting pummeled. This is a long way of explaining the astrology behind it. But that's basically what's happening, is Vermont is having a Saturn bearing down upon us. And right, Saturn's all about hard work, about discipline, about goals, about really, it's like getting through hardship in a way. And so that's basically what's happening with Vermont. Not a fun thing. I hope everybody in Vermont is safe, and all of you tuning in, that you are okay. Emily said, living in northern New Jersey. Oh yeah, I can never remember. New Jersey is either a Sagittarius with an Aries moon, or an Aries moon with or an Aries sun with a Sagittarius moon. But it's some combination like that, Sagittarius and Aries. And if you think about New Jersey, that's kind of in your face, double fire sign. I mean, that's New Jersey. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I can speak to that firsthand. You said you're a Sag, Emily. Do you feel extra Sagittarius when you're in New Jersey? I know I'm an Aries with a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, and I definitely feel that way when I'm in New Jersey. I get very get out of my way, especially when I'm driving. So, Almir, welcome. Taurus from Vermont. Love. Emily said, yes, you've always felt connected with New Jersey, so that makes sense. Yeah, I was born there, and it wasn't always connected with there. I think it brings out too much aggressiveness in me. I need the Pisces water energy to chill me out. But I have my moon in Pisces. See, so that makes sense. And a lot of times we connect with places and we don't even realize it. You know, we don't even realize the astrology that we're connecting with. And that's why it's like, oh, I don't know why, but it feels like home, you know? Well, that's because you're literally in your home sign. So see, so that's kind of how it works. So welcome everybody who's joining. Please post below your astrological sign and where you're tuning in from. Love to hear from you. I have a lot to go over, so I'm just going to jump in the deep end. I wanted to kind of give you that little tidbit about Vermont. Yay, Sylvia. Yes, you did catch me live. Welcome, Gemini. That's awesome. So today on Monday, the day of, and I really can't wait until these moon signs get off of Monday, because I feel like I'm doing the reporting after the fact instead of before. But basically what's happening is every Monday we've had a moon, some kind of a moon thing this month. We had the full moon, we have the new moon, and today is no exception. Today is the new moon on Monday night. On Monday afternoon at 2:32 p.m. Eastern time, so 11:32 a.m. if you're out on the West Coast or somewhere in between, plus or minus that. Kim, hey, Aquarius in Vermont, welcome. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy said my shirt's beautiful. I love this shirt, so thank you. And so the moon in Cancer sun, Cancer moon, double Cancerian energy. So if you are a Cancer, I know a couple of people on here said they were like maybe rising sign or moon or whatever. But if you have any planets in Cancer, or if you know where Cancer is in your astrological chart, we had the new moon today, the 24 degrees Cancer. So even if your birthday is around this week, at the end of last week into this week, you will be feeling this. This will be like your new moon. And that's a really lovely thing. Cancer, Melinda said Cancer moon. So this is your new moon, Cancer moon there. So that's good. This is all about restarting, rebooting our area of emotions, our area of intuition, our area of home and family, home and family, home and family. And I wanted to share with you today because I thought it was so cute. I was outside in my yard with my dogs, and this really nice lady stopped her car. She was just driving by. She was a vacationer out in my community here, and she stopped her car, rolled down her window, and she said, I just wanted to tell you your home is so cute, and every time I drive by I think it's so cute, and I wanted to tell you that. And I just was like, oh my God, Cancer new moon. How funny is that? Home, literally our home where we live, whether that's in a tiny home, whether that's in a mansion, whether that's in, you know, a hybrid RV, whatever kind of thing you're living in, that's your idea of home and family. This is a fantastic new moon if you are thinking about doing any kind of home improvement, getting a new home, getting an apartment, signing a lease, applying for a mortgage, whatever it is you do, doing repairs, all kinds of home, and then family, our family of origin, where we came from, our genealogy, our ancestry, and also the family we created in this life. And so that's our idea of home and family. Cancer's water, like I said, double water. And again, speaking to the astrology of places, for those of you that live in Vermont, Burlington, Vermont is a Cancer. So Cancer sun sign. And then Vermont as a total is double Pisces. So there's a lot of water here in Vermont. But that is a double water sign, water, sun, water, moon. And again, 24 degrees Cancer. So towards the end of Cancer, because really, if you think about it, the end of this week is Leo season we start. So we're getting towards the end of Cancer. So if you, again, have your birthday around this time, now, if you have your birthday around this time in January, so let's say you're born January 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, this new moon might feel more like a little bit of a full moon to you because you are a Capricorn and this is your half birthday. This is getting into your half birthday. So having a half birthday means that it's a little bit like a full moon for you, Capricorns, because Cancer is opposing Capricorn. Now, I happen to know that somebody on this broadcast was born at the full moon. They automatically have the sun in Capricorn and the moon in in Cancer, and that means that they are going to be feeling this because that's hitting up on your stuff there. Oh, nice. Wendy said, yay, doing repairs to your home, getting things done, signing contracts. Great. That's perfect. And you're doing it before Mercury goes retrograde, which is an excellent, that's a good thing. So this particular new moon, 2:32 p.m. Eastern time. Again, this is time for you to write out your new moon manifestation list. Do it tonight. Do it after this broadcast is over. Write out your new moon manifestation list. No excuses. Look, even if sometimes people get so like, oh, I'm just so busy, blah, blah, then do 3 things, 3 bullet points, you know, health, wealth, and love, you know, whatever it is. But make sure you do it because I had feedback recently that this part of the broadcast is a little redundant. Oh, you say it every time. And I said, well, to that person, I said, do you write your new moon list? And they said, no. So redundant or not, write your list. That's what I'm asking you to do. Write your list because this is only going to help you. And the person said, well, I wrote my list a few times. It didn't happen. Well, you got to give the universe a little bit of time. Remember that this is a tool we're using to manifest. It's not the full everything behind manifestation, but it is a list that can help us to start to begin the steps of manifesting. Now we have to hold the vibration up of whatever it is that we're doing. If we're praying and asking for, let's say, improved health, we have to hold that mental vibration up ourselves. And so that's what that's about. So you're going to write out your new moon manifestation list. Even if it's just bullet points, make it simple. If you're not doing it, then just do something. Write out your little bullet points. I write it as a thank you letter because I think the more energy you put into the list, it does help to improve things and it helps to really suss out what it is that you're looking for. Leave the how that you're getting the thing off of the list and then fold it up and put it under your pillow for 2 weeks, and then we're going to burn or destroy it during the next full moon. And I told you we're getting 2 full moons in August. We have 2 full moons coming in August. So the next full moon is going to be August 1st, and then we have another one on August 30th. And they're both super moons, but the one on the 30th is the biggest super moon out of all of 2023. So that's a really big deal. If you guys haven't heard me say that, put that on your calendar. That's going to be a powerful blue moon because it's 2 full moons in a month is a blue moon. So that's going to be August 30th in Pisces. So write out your new moon manifestation list. And look, and here's the other thing. If you forget to burn your list and it's still, Gretchen, it's still under my pillow, okay, just leave it there then. Leave it until the next full moon. As long as everything on there is still pretty much applicable, leave it under your pillow. Now, today, during this particular new moon, there's another bigger astrological thing happening in the background. And so, yeah, you should burn the list on the 1st. It's going to be happening. It's kind of ironic. This is sort of creepy. But the full moon is happening the same time as today's new moon. So 2:32 p.m. Same time. That's really weird. I didn't even catch that until just now. So that's very odd. That usually doesn't happen. So yeah, the super moon is 2:32 p.m. and you want to burn it after the peak of these things. So actually writing the list is tonight. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss your window. Do it after the peak of it. So you always want to do it within like at least 12 hours, like if you can. But again, I don't want you getting caught up. I just would rather have you do it than not do it, if that makes sense. So, hey, Rita in Vermont, Virgo, or in Colorado, Virgo. And yeah, so the big thing that has happened, and you might have seen my post, Astrology. And by the way, if you guys can like this broadcast and share with your friends, or even tag your friends in the comment section here in the bottom, that will get the algorithm rolling, because the algorithm hasn't been rolling yet. I had to stop and restart a bunch of times, which I might have messed up my own algorithm with that because my technology once again was not working. I think I might need a new iPad. I don't even want to say that out loud, cancel clear, but that's might be the deal. Okay, so we had the nodes of the moon change sign. This is a big, huge deal. And there's a lot of things happening this week that are going to be a big, huge deal. And I even thought about making a standalone video on YouTube just for these certain things. And one of them is the nodes of the moon. The nodes of the moon have moved now. They were in the astrological sign of Taurus, was in the north node, Scorpio was the south node for the last 18 months. So they go through each sign for almost 19 months. It's 18.6 months. Okay. So basically what's happening is we are moving on from Taurus and Scorpio, and then we are going to be going into Aries and Libra as far as the nodes of the moon go. Now I'm going to do a quick review of the nodes of the moon because I have so much to get to in this broadcast. I'm not going to be able to deep dive into any one sort of topic per se, but I want to give you the overview of what's happening this week. And there's a lot of energy and not all of it's positive. So you want to have the heads up and you want to know what's coming. So make sure you stay tuned till the end because I have a lot to go over. This part's positive. The beginning part of the week is good. We got the new moon, and then we have the nodes of the moon. So what are the nodes of the moon? You might call it north node. Some people call it the mean node or the true node or the karmic nodes. Rahu and Ketu. I mean, there's a lot of names for these nodes of the moon. For this broadcast, I'm calling them north node and south node. So the north node of the moon is now in Aries, and the south node is in Libra. What is the difference? So these nodes of the moon are mathematical points that are along the ecliptic line. So what it means and why it's such a big, huge deal is because now this is denoting where the eclipses are going to take place over the next 18 to 19 months. Whew. Transformation. A lot of change, a lot of transformation in the area of Aries and Libra. Where are Aries and Libra in your astrological chart? What houses are they in? If you want to list them below, you can on the broadcast. What houses are they in? And that will show you how it will be affecting you. Here's the other thing. They always go retrograde. They're always moving backwards. So if you were born at the very, very end of Aries, or you were born at the very, very end of Libra, this will affect you sooner than if you were born in the beginning. So I'll use myself. I'm born in the very, very, very beginning. So I'm not going to be feeling this as much until 2025. Whereas if you're born at the very end, so April 20th or April 19th or April 18th, you're going to be feeling this immediately. Now, if you are, again, same for Libra, if you were born on October 21st, October 22nd, or October 19th or 18th, you're going to be in that bubble. Okay. Those are the dates that you're looking for. But we all have Aries and we all have Libra somewhere in our charts. And if you have any planets in either of those two signs, these north node and south node, they kind of move when they move, they sort of move like this, and they go retrograde, and they always are opposing each other. So it's almost like they always move in almost like tandem like this. And so what does this mean? This means that our karma, our destiny, what we're meant to do here in this lifetime is changing. Our job in this last 18, 19 months has been to concentrate and focus on security. It's been hard to focus on security in Taurus, okay, since again, January of 2022 all the way until today, July 17th, 2023. North node of the moon, which is our destiny and where we are meant to place our focus and what we're meant to do here in this lifetime. That's why it's so important to know where the nodes of the moon are in your chart. Holly said Libra's in our first house, Aries is in our seventh house. So yeah, so relationships versus self versus relationships. That's gonna be the deal. Rita said rising sign, so that's gonna be a similar deal. where it's the first house being affected there. Wendy said, same thing, first house. Wow, we have a lot of people watching that have this energy in the first and seventh houses. So it's going to be relationships and partnerships for you guys and versus self. Now, the difference between the north node of the moon, I always say, if you think about the north node of the moon, think of like the North Star. This is where we are headed, where we are going. Now, the south node of the moon is where we're coming from and the past. Not only the past in this lifetime, but also past lifetimes. That's why they call these the karmic nodes, because sometimes these are past life portals that sort of open up in our charts, and we might be dealing with some stuff. Now, getting back to Taurus again, in Taurus, we had to work on finances, work on bettering ourselves, and we were getting tested because globally we've had the north node of the moon in Taurus too, and everybody's been kind of a little stretched thin from as a result of the pandemic and the Fed's raising the interest rates and all these different things that have been going on in our lifetime. And so Wendy said she sees her north node in the fifth house. Where's Aries and Libra for you though, Wendy? That's your first and seventh really. The south node is always opposite. So even if it doesn't appear on your astrological wheel that you're using, it's always the opposite side. So whatever your sign your fifth house is, it's always opposite of that. Kind of like a full moon, right? So getting back to this, we've been tested in our area of finances, our area of material goods, our area of financial assets and resources. All of this has been tested in this last 18 months. Now, some of us have gotten, done pretty good, and some of us maybe struggled. But that's basically what's been kind of the general deal, where we're focusing our energy. Now we have to focus on self-starting. We have to focus on pioneering energy. We might be fighting. We have to get into the fight. And so I'm going to be giving you guys the dates of when this last time. Oh, yay! Almir said, as predicted, you ended up getting a promotion. Everybody congratulate Almir on the broadcast. That's amazing. Congratulations on the day of Jupiter. That's awesome sauce. Congratulations, Almir. That's great. Cool. Thanks, Wendy said. All right. So I'm going to give you guys the dates, the last few dates of when this happened. And that way, if you were born during any of these dates, first of all, it's good to write these dates down, because what was going on in your life during these dates, okay, that's first step. And second step, maybe somebody is born during these dates. Then they'll be having their nodal return, or that you'll know what was happening with the north node of the moon in Aries. Again, that's where we're headed, where we're coming from, Libra. So not to say how like you go through an experience and you learn something from that experience, so you're going to take it with you. I know a lot of astrologers sort of write about the south node of like, that's what we're leaving behind and we're discarding it and whatever, but we don't discard experiences. We don't discard life lessons. We learn from them and we take them with us. And we not only take them with us from our past in this life, but we also take them with us from past lives as well. It's a very fascinating topic, these nodes of the moon, the karmic nodes. In fact, I can tell people if they had past life experiences or relationships with people, love relationships, parental relationships. Mom or dad was a past life person or whatever it is. Oh no, Liz said it's cutting out and freezing. I'm sorry, Liz. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. It might be your computer. It might be good to restart it or something and see maybe if it gets better, Liz. I apologize. Have no control over the internet. That's kind of what the internet does. A lot of people congratulating Almir. Okay, so here are the dates. And I was even looking through these dates in preparation for this broadcast, and I was like, ooh, some stuff happened for me. Now, by the way, because it only happens every 18 to 19 months, this only happens, a handful of times in our lifetime. It's not a common occurrence. Okay, so the last time this happened was December 27th of 04. until June 22nd of '06. So December of '04, June 22nd of '06. So again, if you remember what happened in your life at that time, or if you were born during that time. April 7th, 1986 to December 2nd, 1987. So 86 to 87. The next time was August 20th, 1967. So we got the mid 60s or late 60s here. There was a lot of fighting going on during that time. To April 19th, 1969. So 67 to 69. And if you were born January 27th, 1949, all the way back to July 26th of 1950. So 49 to 50, okay? And again, this is just roughly, yeah. Oh, thank you. Everybody said that they could hear me. Okay. So Liz, it might just be your internet. I'm sorry, girl. Okay. So these dates are very important because this is the last time that the node of the North Node was in Aries and that the South Node is in Libra. The South Node is what we learned, where we've been, where we came from, what we've already learned. So the South Node is relationships. Libra's relationships, partnership, being codependent, being needy. I'm sorry to say, but that is a Libra sort of when we're in our shadow Libra side, okay? When we're in our positive Libra side, it's all about forming partnerships. It's all about having a duet and having a relationship and balance and fairness and beauty and getting along. Let's get along, everybody, let's get along. And that's where we're coming from, okay? And then where we're heading is autonomy, being on your own, doing your own thing, being independent, having some fight, some chutzpah. You know, Libra likes to have more peace. Libra likes to experience much more sort of everybody get along. And where's Aries? Well, Aries is in the fight. Aries is like, don't mess with me, okay? That's Aries, And so that's kind of where we're headed. So it doesn't mean that we have to spend this whole 18 months fighting, but we can use this if we need to fight for something, or if we need extra energy. It's kind of like having Mars, in that area, and it's a very sort of thing where we're returning to ourselves. Liz said she just went through a crazy intense divorce, and now she's just finished. Yes, see, and you were probably fighting over assets and resources and wanting to have financial security, right? That's Taurus. North Node of the Moon is Taurus. Now we're getting into the autonomy, doing things on your own. It doesn't mean that as an Aries that you have to be single or that you can't be in a relationship. It's about having a little bit more independence, a little bit more stand up on your own 2 feet. Like, do you have to ask your partner to get the remote? Couldn't you just get the remote yourself? Do you have to ask your partner to go, it's like things like that. If you have gotten in any way, shape, or form in your personal relationships, if you've gotten any kind of codependence or any kind of over-reliance or dependence on your partner, this is time to take a step back and go, I'm not helpless. I can do this on my own. I have, thank God, my faculties, and I'm able to achieve what I need to achieve. That's Aries. Now, where Aries specializes is starting new things. So again, it's very cool to know where this is personally in your astrological chart in order to know what new thing you're going to start. Where is this affecting you? And again, if you have any planets in Aries, so, and I should say this, it's not just Aries Libra. This is going to highlight all the cardinal signs. All the cardinal signs are leaders, even Libra, even Aries, even Cancer, and even Capricorn. So all the cardinal signs, we're all going to be starting something new. All the cardinal signs are going to be activated through this. And if you are a Leo or a Sagittarius, another fire sign, you're going to be activated with this energy because your cousin, fire sign, Aries, is going to be doing some stuff. So, these are times of like a little bit of, especially the late 60s here was a time of, I was thinking back to what was going on in the late 80s, like there was a lot of stuff happening then. So if you think about these times in the history, we will see where we needed to have our fight. Aries is like that. Aries has a lot of energy, and we are scrappy people. I always use that keyword with Aries as scrappy, like survivor, you know? But we don't want to be going through 18 months of just running on survival mode. That's not Aries either. Aries is just about starting something new, being a pioneer in your own life. Where do you need to stand up for yourself? Where do you need to believe in yourself? Where do you need to feel the fear and do it anyway? That's Aries. And so it's good to know where Aries is in your astrological chart in order to know how this will affect you on a personal level, what houses it's affecting, where you're coming from, and where you're headed. So if you have any planets in Aries or Libra, you'll be feeling this even more. Or even just knowing what houses they're in, that would be also helpful too. And there's all kinds of free online that you can look at. But this is a big important thing. So when the nodes of the moon, and here's the other thing, it's not just that they are going to be going through those areas, okay, of the chart, but also all the eclipses that are not all, but most of the eclipses that are taking place in the next 18 months are going to be in Aries and Libra, and Aries and Libra, and Aries and Libra. So we're getting 3 in Aries and 3 in Libra. We already had one in Aries on April 20th of 2023. We already had an Aries eclipse because we started getting a preview of the new eclipse cycle. We're going to be getting a solar eclipse coming up in where is it? It's October 14th of 2023. That's going to be in Libra. Okay, so we have some energy coming, Aries Libra. So if you think of each and every time there's an eclipse in this department, because remember the nodes of the moon are a mathematical point on the ecliptic lines, that's going to denote where the eclipses are. I know the eclipses always seem kind of random, like what sign are they in, blah, blah, blah. Well, all you need to know is where the north and south nodes of the moon are, and you will know where these eclipses are taking place. So we're going to get a lot of change, a lot of transformation. And what eclipses are is like a rebooting of a computer. You know, they're turning one planet off and the other planet. So we're getting now pounded with Aries and Libra, just like we just came from Taurus and Scorpio. Any Tauruses and Scorpios out there have any kind of transformation in their lives during the last 18 months? Yeah. So that's a thing. Now, a lot of times we get the final result, the end result, and Almir just got that with his promotion there. Toward the end of the cycle, and we are at the end of the cycle. Like today, it already just switched. So we had the new moon, and we had the north node of the moon. So this is really a powerful day to manifest. So write down your list, talk about your hopes, goals, dreams, aspirations. This is a very, very big thing. Tomorrow is the Islamic New Year as well. That begins tomorrow night at sundown on July 18th. So there's a lot of really cool energy until the end of the week. Ooh, hot spot. You know, it's like you just start out strong and, and then it's like, off the cliff. Okay, so the end of the week, there's good and not so good. I kind of gave you guys the heads up. I think it was last week when I did the broadcast last week. By the way, if you like this broadcast, please go ahead and like it and post below, tag your friends. If you have anybody that you think would be into what I talk about, go ahead and tag below, because I do think it's helpful to know in your head where things are going. Forewarned is forearmed. And when we know that there's a difficult, sticky point coming, we can prepare for that, or we can act accordingly. Like, I am not going to scream out my window at you and give you the, the dirty finger or whatever when I'm in a car, because I know that people are having stressful times, and that can be a time of craziness. So see, we don't want to engage in that way. All right. July 20th, July 21st, and July 22nd, hot spot. Really difficult energy, not only for really this month. This might be the hottest of the hot spots of the whole year. This is pretty gnarly looking, okay? And so I like to give you the heads up, and just so that you know. And we'll be feeling this. That's another good point, is we'll be feeling this as we get closer. So it could be tomorrow we start feeling this, or Wednesday. So don't just think of it just as this 3 days, but it's going to be a period of time. And we're going to be starting to experience that. Oh, thank you, Kelly. That's awesome. 50 stars. Yay. Congratulations. That's so awesome. I love it when people give stars. If you want to give stars, it's just a little way of giving like a financial boost to the broadcast. So thank you. I really appreciate that. You're awesome. All right. So here's the shakedown, and here's how it all looks. On Thursday, July 20th, we have the sun forming a trine with Neptune. Normally, that's not a bad deal. Neptune can make us feel a little dreamy, sleepy out of it. But that's not a bad deal. Sun's gonna be in Cancer, Neptune's in Pisces. That's more water energy, okay? So water, by the way, is feeling. So sometimes during this new moon, even though it's a new moon and it's positive, that can feel a little sleepy or a little sad, because new moons in Cancer can be like that. Cancer's just feelings. So we might get the feels of the feels, you know? Oh, thank you, Rosalie. Ding, ding, ding. I got another 50 stars. I appreciate it. That's awesome. So that's not too bad of a thing on Thursday, and that the peak of that is going to be 9:07 a.m. on Thursday, July 20th. But that same day, Mars is going to be opposing Saturn. Ouch. Mars in Virgo, Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is retrograde right now. Oh, wow. So if you are a Virgo or Pisces, woo, this is ground zero for you. You're going to be feeling that. Mars is how we kind of our drive, our ambition, our motivation, and Saturn is the brakes. Stop. Okay. Like Saturn can be falls. Saturn can be, you know, like, please be careful. On Mars and Saturn can be like accidents and falls and cuts and scrapes and all kinds of sharp. Be careful with sharp objects. Like this one's ouchy. And if it was just this, I'd say, oh God, watch yourself, you know, but we have even more the next day. The sun is going to oppose Pluto the next day on July 21st, the sun being in Cancer and Pluto being in Capricorn. Now, again, if you're in Cancer or Capricorn, or you have Pisces or Virgo, or you have Cancer or Pisces, like there's all this energy going on in your chart. And also for all of us collectively, this is a hot spot. So the peak of the Mars opposing Saturn, and this is a once every 2-year thing, is going to come to a peak again on Thursday, July 20th at 4:39 p.m. Eastern time. Earlier than that if you're on the West Coast. But remember, I'm talking about the peak here. This thing is active for almost a week. So here we are in the middle of it's active for a week. And then the sun opposing Pluto, same thing. This is going to come to a peak at the evening on Friday night, July 21st at 11:53 p.m. Eastern time. So this is like, we're not going to talk about politics and religion at work, you know, or with loved ones, or hey, where's our relationship going, or all this kind of stuff. Like, this is like, avoid all of those serious talks and like, we need to talk about the da-da-da. No, that is not the time, because it's like playing with a little match and then throwing gasoline on the fire. Like, these are Pluto, as you know, is the lord of the underworld. It's all about triggers, feeling dark, feeling depressed, feeling just like, this is just a lot of energy all at one time. And when we experience this, so what I'm talking about are the transiting planets currently. So everyone on the planet is getting this. Is everyone going to have a bad day or bad time? No. But it could still infect our day by someone else in the office having a tantrum, or hearing something from, you know, see what I'm saying? Like, it's like it still comes in, having the news on and hearing all because there's definitely going to be a violent news situation going on. And it just seems like this keeps happening. So all this is rough, you know, so we want to just kind of stay out of the fray, keep our head down. You know, we're not going to have the big talk with whoever. We're going to just lay low. Oh, they trying to disagree with us. We're going to walk away. You see what I'm saying? So when we have forewarned is forearmed, I want you to think Gretchen said this week, just to like lay low. And that's going to keep you out of trouble. Okay. That is going to keep you out of trouble. Oh no, Wendy. Oh no. Okay. She said my mom has a blood clot in her leg. She's a Virgo on blood thinner. Okay. So we're going to send Wendy's mom. Everybody, please, 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 please send Wendy's mom on the broadcast energy, healing energy, the Virgo. Yeah. Yeah. Emily said, avoid sharp objects and serious conversations until next week. Laugh out loud. Exactly. Exactly. Like you want to get out the kids' cutting knife that's plastic, you know, from the picnic. Don't be using sharp objects for that, you know. This is not the time to figure out how to use your weed whacker or some kind of thing, you know. So we want to, and you want to make sure that you're careful no matter what you do. Wear your helmet, you know, things like that. So that's what's going on at the end of this week. Now, on Saturday, July 22nd, it keeps going. Good news. There is good news. We are going to be entering Leo season, and that's going to be happening at 9:50 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday night, and we're going to be heading into Leo season, so 6:50 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, and that's good news. But the bad news is, and you know I've been talking about this for almost half a year now, so we're here, and loyal followers to this broadcast and to this program, you guys know that I've been talking about Venus retrograde. We're going to be starting Venus retrograde on Saturday, and that's coming at 9:33 p.m. Eastern time. So again, if you're on the West Coast, you'll be at 6:33 p.m. So we're in the pre-shadow of Venus retrograde right now, and that's in Leo also. So we have a double header coming in Leo. The sun coming into Leo is a good positive thing, but this Leo retrograde, Venus retrograde, not so much, because that's going to make our love life retrograde. Okay. And so, you know, I've been talking about this for a long time. We're finally here. We have Venus retrograde coming, and it's going to be retrograde. So Venus only, it's funny. I keep talking about the nodes of the moon last 18 months. Well, Venus goes retrograde roughly every 18 months. So Venus is going to be, it's like a year and a half. Okay. So Venus is going to be retrograde this year between Saturday, July 22nd, all the way until September 3rd, almost Labor Day, 2023. So we have a chunk of time where Venus is going to be retrograde. What does this mean? Venus retrograde, and it is in Leo, like I've said. Venus has been in Leo for an abnormally long time. Venus in Leo is a little bit of a diva, a little bit of a, you know, kind of looking a certain way, acting a certain way. This is not the time to have any kind of cosmetic procedure. This is not the time to try a different hair dye or to get injections or any kind of thing. We don't want to do any kind of thing cosmetically during Venus retrograde. That's a big no-no. And like I said, it only happens once every 18 months, so you can hold off, okay, over the next 2 months. Now, I'm not saying don't have your hair done. If you're doing a regular, you're having your regular color, your regular cut, it's fine, your regular hairdresser. But if this is the time you're like, I'm going to experiment and get a new hairdresser, I'm going to experiment and dye my hair purple instead of green. And yet, no, that's not the time to do it. It's the time to stay in your lane and just keep doing what you've been doing, okay? And that's Venus retrograde. And of course, it's our love life. I mean, major. And every time Venus goes retrograde, there's always a big couple that goes on the news, like in Hollywood, that breaks up. There's always a big breakup during Venus retrograde. So this is the time our love life is retrograde. And we're supposed to be asking ourselves, what does this mean? Am I happy? Is this something that is good? Now, you know how retrogrades are. You go through Mercury retrogrades 3 weeks, 3 times a year, which by the way is coming up too at the end of August. So for a couple weeks by the end of August, getting into September, not only is Venus going to be retrograde, but Mercury is also going to be retrograde at the same time. Oof, wow. That's just, I've talked about this. I keep talking about it. All right. So Mercury is going to start its retrograde on August 23rd, and it's going to be retrograde all the way until September 15th. This year, it is going to be in Virgo. A couple of people on here talking about Virgos right now. There's a lot of energy in Virgo right now, and that's kind of going to be adding to it. So that's going to be an extra strong Mercury retrograde because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So that's going to be an extra strong Virgo retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So yikes. So we got to watch. Yeah, it's kind of going to be a doozy. So with this Venus retrograde, at least in the beginning, now people are going to ask me, well, what do we do? What do we do? Okay. So Venus retrograde is not like Mercury retrograde. You know how Mercury retrograde, I'm like, don't sign contracts and don't make, all these different appointments. Don't get surgery. Don't have all these different things. Venus retrograde's not quite like that. We don't want to have any cosmetic procedures during Venus retrograde. That is a no-no. But Venus retrograde is more about analyzing our love life and analyzing our financial, because yes, Venus secondarily is our money too. Not that money is going to be retrograde necessarily, but our love life is really the big thing. I find that Venus retrograde can affect best friends. I mean, it's not just romantic love. It can be love of a bestie, love of a, just a person that's in other words, we're reevaluating relationships, not just love. All relationships are getting highlighted. And what does it mean? And where are we acting like divas? Leo in our charts is kind of like, where do we like to perform? Where do we like to have adoration and all this? Well, is that always going to be reasonable? I mean, like, do people have to treat us like that? No, but we do want to be treated well. And so that's what it's like, having a stress test. I always say that retrogrades are like a stress test. If you're in shape, you're going to pass the stress test. No problem. Your relationship will go through it and there'll be no issue. It'll just maybe be a little bump in the road, a little minor disagreement. But if your relationship is like cut up, bruised, you're limping in there like, oh, I don't even know. Yeah, that's just done, because it's not going to pass the stress test, you see. It'll blow it apart. And so that's what we're meant to do, is we're meant to reevaluate. What are we doing here? Are we getting our needs met? Are we expressing ourselves? Are we being too demanding, too much like a diva, or, narcissistic? Okay. Like that kind of stuff. I mean, like, what's going on? Are we being selfish? Are we giving? Is there a nice reciprocity between giving and taking? And, what's going on? A lot of times Leo, that's the shadow of Leo, is like being that egotistical. But sometimes we need to have a little bit more ego. We need to stand up for ourselves a little bit more. That north node of the moon in Aries will help with that, by the way. But and we have that south node in Libra kind of affecting relationships too. So this is going to be a doozy, and we're going to be reevaluating what are we doing in our love. Leo is the heart and the spine. As far as body parts, heart and spine. The spinal cord, okay, is Leo. So we might be reevaluating things when it comes to that. So Venus got us a love, beauty. She's finances. She's love. She is, she's usually pretty positive, but when she's retrograde, she's a little cranky. Cranky pants. Okay, so that's what's going on, but it's going on right at the heels of these other kind of very tumultuous times with Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday Venus retrograde starts. So it's kind of putting a little bit of a damper on the start of Leo season, because usually I'm like, Leo season is here, like I usually really ring in the changing of the signs, but I feel like it's like meh, because this Venus retrograde is kind of putting a damper on that. But we are going to be into Leo season. That's, again, getting all things Leo, performing, being out there, having a little ego, having a little fun time. We are supposed to be connecting with our hearts. What do our hearts mean for us? What are our hearts' desires? What is our heart saying? Pink and green, okay? I love showing you guys the stones. Green is a beautiful stone if you're looking for, this is Advent Taurine. This is a beautiful stone if you're looking to connect to your heart chakra. Love your pink, love your green. I know people who hate those colors, and I'm like, don't hate a color ever, any color, don't hate it, because yes, certain colors can make us feel better or worse, but when we reject a color, we're rejecting that chakra. We don't want to reject a chakra. So love your pink, love your green. I'm wearing kind of pink tonight, and I got the green here, so I got both the heart chakra colors. But yeah, so we want to think about our relationships. What are we bringing to the table? What's the other person bringing to the table? Now, if you are single, it's not a great time to meet new people because Venus is retrograde. It's not as much of a hard rule with that one as it is with Mercury retrograde. When Venus and Mercury were both retrograde, just stop. Like just turn off your dating app, okay? Because that's not good. But Venus retrograde, it's not as much of a hard rule, but it's not as favorable. But what is favorable is people coming back from the past, and you better believe some exes are going to be coming back during all this shenanigans. I mean, cue in the exes. We're going to be talking about exes. And even when we're talking about, I don't know, hunting down exes for child support, or exes that we have to finalize divorce settlements over, the exes are coming, okay? This is the time for exes. So that can be a thing too, when the Venus retrograde starts. And definitely, if you guys have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. And then even on Sunday, July 23rd, we have Mercury is going to form a square with Uranus. It just, these 4 days really, it's just like rough. Now, Mercury square Uranus isn't totally bad, but it's just adding insult to injury here. This is where we have erratic, people who are just, kind of not saying the right thing, not doing the right thing. Mercury square Uranus, these are the two live wires of the zodiac. So that could even feel a little Mercury retrograde-ish on the weekend. Computers crashing and cell phones acting up and printers glitching out, things like that. So we want to watch that energy. Yeah, it's just kind of nasty. This last week of Cancer season is really kind of yucky. So good news is next week is a lot lighter and will almost seem boring compared to this week, okay? So I hope that helps everybody tonight. I can and will be taking questions. And if you guys have any, so I just want to recap very quickly because it was just so much energy to throw at you. Hopefully I did that concisely. We have the beautiful new moon. Please write out your new moon manifestation list in Cancer today. All about home and family, all about feelings, all about intuition. Then we have the nodes of the moon switching, north node into Aries, what our destiny is, what we're meant to do here in this lifetime. And then the south node of the moon being in Libra, what we're kind of moving away from. And the gifts and blessings that we have from Libra, that we're going to retain some of those. And then we have the end of the week, which is nasty, gnarly looking a little bit. We have Mars opposing Saturn. We have the Sun opposing Pluto. Yuck. And then we have Venus retrograde starting on Saturday, which is retrograding our love life. We have the start of Leo season. And then on Sunday, we have Mercury squaring Uranus. That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of this. Please just try to ground yourself. Remember what I always say about the dark stones here. I'm always showing you guys the dark stones. This one has labradorite in it. A little bit, but these are dark. The hematite, the onyx, okay, jet, all those black tourmaline, all those beautiful dark stones, protection, getting grounded, just keeping it light. If you're on vacation, that's great. I think that would be a great thing to do if you're on vacation. Just kind of like, try to lay low if you can. Lay low. Oh, Holly, ding, ding, ding. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. Okay, so we have a couple Wendy's on here asking for cards. It's sort of interesting. Okay. Wendy Mitchell. Okay. You want a card? Wendy Mitchell. You didn't ask the context, so I'm just going to pull. Actually, I'm going to switch decks. We've had just a lot of energy. Wendy Mitchell, what do you need to know from your angels, your spirit guides? You're only going to get a quick card, so I'm going to ask the other Wendy wants a card too. Wendy Mitchell. What do you need to know? Wendy Mitchell, steady progress. Okay, this is the card of Saint Therese. You don't have to be Catholic to believe in this card or to have blessings from the saint. But I am using my Saints and Angel card for this one. Steady progress. So Saint Therese, who was also called the Little Flower, she's a beautiful one because she believes in, her message in this, through this card, is about making steady progress, like one little tiny step at a time. Okay, I love this card also for Virgo. I don't know if you have any Virgo in your chart, but steady progress card is all about doing one little thing. One little thing is more than you did yesterday, right? And so it's about making, and you might feel like your feet are stuck in the mud, maybe even literally. Hopefully you're not caught up in the sort of muck that's going on in Vermont right now. But Wendy, that's just, and if you have prayers that you're asking your saints, your angels, your spirit guides, your guardians, for the sign that it's coming is flowers, because that's why she's called the Little Flower. So you'll get flowers maybe unexpectedly, or you'll see flowers, or your friend will show up with flowers, whatever it is. But flowers are a confirmation or an affirmation that Saint Therese is helping you. So you can always ask for help. It's beautiful spiritual guidance. Okay, Wendy Martin asked about her mama. If everybody can please send Wendy Martin a beautiful message for her mom and some prayers, Reiki, if you can, or just positive energy. Yeah, Wendy. Ooh, there's a lot going on here. I do think they're gonna continue with the blood thinners. They might even increase her dosage. Oh, God, I mean, that feels like a lot. I don't know. I'm just like, I hope she isn't getting a PE, because I'm having trouble breathing a little bit. Does your mom have any problems, Wendy Martin, with breathing, or any kind of asthma or COPD or cold or any kind of thing? There just feels like there's something going on there. What is Wendy Martin's mom? Yeah, I mean, she just keeps getting this card, which is discrimination analysis, what to do. Okay. See how she's sitting there? I always think this card looks like Lake Champlain also. See how she's sitting there? It's like there might be, this is the crossroads. There might be a big decision that she has to make about this. I am feeling a tightness in chest. So I really want you to keep an eye on that. Okay, because I know sometimes, we can't think about what it is during the broadcast, or sometimes it hasn't even happened yet. But I am feeling there's a tightness in my chest when I'm talking about her. That can be anxiety, but I really want you to keep an eye on her, that there's not a PE starting, any kind of pulmonary embolism thing, because I just, for some reason, I'm getting like a weird feeling about that. So I want you to make sure that you keep an eye on that. But I do feel like as if they're going to be playing around with these blood thinners. Let me see. What is... There's a lot of anxiety around this too, so maybe it's just anxious energy. I don't know, but there's a lot of anxiousness. Girl, this is hanging tight. There's a lot of hard cards coming out here. It feels like in the end things work out. Oh, this is so interesting. She just got the card of Leo, which is heart. I just was talking about heart. She has atrial murmurs. Yeah, there's a bigger thing. Please keep an eye on her lungs, okay? If she has anything in the chat, I would have them run a CT scan or whatever they need to do and do that, okay? Gloria, Gloria, you want a card? Okay, we'll do one card for Gloria, and then I'm going to pull a collective card for everybody who is watching. What do we need to know during this difficult week? Wendy, follow up with her healthcare providers, okay, and keep a close eye on her. Okay, what do we need to know? All right, Gloria, really quick, what's the card? You are a leader, Gloria. You are a leader. This is Joan of Arc, okay? You are a leader for Gloria, okay? And this is all about, it's funny, we were talking about North Node of the Moon. North Node of the Moon is basically our destiny, needing to fight, needing to be assertive, needing to advocate for yourself, Gloria. So that's saying that you are a leader, okay? And whatever situation that you were in, that you were asking that for that card, it means that you're in charge. So hope that helps. Wendy Martin, what is, I'm going to pull one of these cards for your mom too. I'm just feeling like, what does she need to know? What does your mom need to know? Yeah, see, I feel like with your mom, Wendy Martin, I just feel like, don't compromise. Remember when I was saying she's going to have decisions to be made? Don't back down. St. Agnes, okay? Don't back down. Make sure that you, St. Agnes of Rome, okay? Don't back down. Make sure that you stay to your guns, okay? Self-advocate or advocate for her, but she's got to, she can't compromise on things, okay? She needs to stay firm, but if the doctors are not listening, I want you to keep, okay, at them. Because I'm feeling like something in my chest. I don't like it. Maybe it's the heart murmurs. I don't know, but I'm just feeling in my chest here. Okay? Make sure you get her some pink or green stones. That'll help her too. Yeah. So what do we need to know about all of this energy? Oh my goodness. New moon. North node of the moon. Crazy energy at the end of this week. Difficult energy. Okay, what do we need to know? Case in point, okay, stress management, okay, that's basically what the deal is, and this is a guardian angel card, stress management. We need to manage our stress this week, big time, okay, everybody, so this is what the deal is, and it's not you, okay, it's not you. This is why I like doing these broadcasts, because I feel like it's like sometimes when we go into these weeks, it's like we start to feel bad about ourselves, or it's like whatever. No, it's not you. It's the current trans thing. So you're gonna just lay low. Also, higher education and learning card is coming out too. This is about learning from our mistakes, and this is about maybe literally school for you if you're in school or going to school. It's maybe about dealing with some school stuff. Hopefully they will approve writing off some of those school loans. I don't know, but this is higher education and learning. We need to learn from something here, okay? We need to learn from some of this stuff that's going on. So we have to have good stress management, lots of prayers, lots of grounding. Like I said, those dark stones can help with grounding. Watch our breath, okay? All that kind of stuff is good. All right, everybody, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for tuning in live tonight. Sorry about my delay. Again, with my laptop, my iPad was acting up. If you'd like to have a personalized astrological session, feel free to send me a DM or a text message or an email, and we can go ahead and schedule you for a personalized astrological session. And if you haven't already, please love my YouTube channel. Go over there and like it, subscribe. If you've already done that, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. But it all helps me with the algorithm. And if you want to comment on YouTube channel over there, I don't care what, just put a comment on the comments, okay? Because that's what also helps these videos to get going. And yeah, so thank you, everybody. Sending lots of prayers and Reiki to the people that were on the broadcast tonight. I love you all. Namaste. Have a good week.